So Apple unveiled iOS 14 the other day, and the oldest iPhone that supports iOS 14 is the 6s, iPhone 6s, which was released in 2015, 5 years ago. A 5-year-old phone getting software updates, that too on the same day as the latest, most expensive phone from the same manufacturer, is unheard of in the industry. But I'm using the developer preview on my iPhone 7, and this is 4-year-old phone. And this video is not about iOS 14 feature overview, that there are plenty of videos on that topic already online. You probably already have watched some. This video is going to be about iOS 14's improvements and performance on older iPhones like the iPhone 7, which happens to be my daily phone. I have certain opinions, and I'm pretty sure you haven't heard these before. Now, I talk about performance because this is a developer preview and they are known for being glitchy, but this is really smooth throughout. I have not seen any frame drop even when I have stacked multiple widgets on top of each other. In fact, at some places I find it even faster than iOS 13. Like taking screenshots, for example, feels almost instant now. Shooting a photograph in the camera app also feels slightly faster than before. Plus now the video format and resolution can finally be changed in the camera app itself. This was earlier only supported by the newer iPhones. But the USP of iOS 14 is widgets. And I filled my home screens with various widgets of different sizes, hoping that this would actually slow down animations, but they didn't, which I honestly did not expect on a 4-year-old iPhone which has a battery health of 73%. Now when I add widgets, even though it's all really smooth, like I've added widget stacks, basically widgets on top of widgets, it's all really smooth, but suddenly everything has become slightly confusing because adding widgets basically displaces the apps from their original position, so I'm still finding a lot of the apps. And also it has become extremely congested and hodgepodge on my iPhone 7 because this is a really tiny phone and widgets do take up considerable amount of space. And that is my major concern with iOS 14 on older devices, especially the first generation iPhone SE, because that's a 4-inch display. Imagine all these widgets and picture-in-picture video playback on a 4-inch screen. It's going to be a mess. You can fill up all the widgets you need in just one page with no app icons, but again, what's the point when you can simply swipe left from the home screen and you have all the widgets at just one place? It's very polarizing, it's very debatable, especially for the smaller iPhones, for the older iPhones. Also, speaking of older iPhones that do not receive majority of the new updates in iOS 14, like the iPhone 6s and iPhone SE, for them iOS 14 is basically just a visual change. They do not support any major new update. As far as the iPhone 7 is concerned, even this has been stripped out of many features, but it retains two pretty significant ones, one being spatial audio with AirPods and the other being NFC app clip. The weird thing is that even though this supports NFC app clip, it does not support car keys, so I can't add my car keys into the wallet app on this iPhone. For that, I would need at least an iPhone XR, not even an iPhone 10, not even an iPhone 10, which was a $1,000 phone. At least an iPhone XR, which is also now in the camera app you can separately lock exposure and focus. Earlier they were linked together, but this is again available on iPhone XR or newer devices, not even the iPhone 10, which is like, I can't make sense about that because this is a pretty basic thing. I don't think it's very hardware demanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the story of iOS 14 on older devices. It's basically a major upgrade for iPhone XR and newer devices, but for anything older, it's mostly a visual change. Also, even though this beta version is really smooth, please don't install it on your main phone or main device, because this has made the battery life really worse, considering the fact that it was already pretty bad. So I'll be downgrading myself or the iPhone back to iOS 13 myself. But that's it. That's the iOS 14 on older devices. This was pretty important to talk about. I found no one talk about this, hence made this video. And I hope you found some value out of this. If you did, feel free or make sure to do the needful. And that's it. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.